Hi, I'm Tim. I use pronouns he and him. Sing along with anything you recognize. I'm going to start out with a chorus on this first song. So give it a shot. It's gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Yeah, let's do that again. It's gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. And where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they've gone away. They've gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. They tell a story I used to know. It was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. I heard the owl calling softly as the night was falling with a question, and I replied, but he's gone across the borderline. He's gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. The finest hour I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's gone away in yesterday, and I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide.
Welcome to worship at First Unitarian Church of Rochester. Welcome. It is good to be together. We are a people with a purpose, and our mission is through spiritual connection in community. We listen deeply to others and ourselves. We open to wonder and transformation, and we serve together with love and humility. And it's with humility that I want to call attention to acknowledging that this is not a typical service for us. This service, our holiday blues service, is one that creates space for those for whom this season is difficult. We are abundantly guilty of practically enforced merriment here at First Unitarian. From Thanksgiving to New Year, it is jam-packed with joy and drawing from many traditions. We gather in celebration, and yet we know that for many reasons, this season is difficult for many of us. So, away from the tumble and tumult, we gather for a low-key service, something different for us. No slides, candles and folk music, and all of you. We acknowledge with respect the Seneca Nation, the keepers of the Western Door, and part of the Haudenosaunee people on whose ancestral lands First Unitarian now stands. I'm Reverend Shari. I'm one of the ministers that serves this congregation, and I use them and they and she and her pronouns. And, well, I'm one of the service leaders today, but I'm joined by 3 of our lay worship associates, Necole Almond, E.J. Santos, and Jenna Cohen. I'm joined by the fabulous Tim Farnum on music, and all of you. If you're going through a hard time, and many of us are, we are, of course, caught in the inescapable web of interdependence, and you are here together with all of us. But if you find that it would be nice to have a particular companion, someone to sit with you today, John Farrell is here in the front as our pastoral care associate, and he's got his hands raised, so you know who he is. I invite you to reach out to our pastoral care team at Caring at Rochester Unitarian this week if you'd like to connect with one of us. And after the service, so we don't normally do this because we try to get people to come together between the 2 services before this service, today, after the service, we'll have coffee and a chance to connect with one another. So if you came this morning, I want to start with words from my colleague and friend, the Reverend Eileen Casey Campbell. If you came this morning with a heavy heart, with grief weighing down your body and loss lingering on your skin, welcome. This space is for you. If you came this morning with an anxious current charging through your mind, with worry creeping into your throat, welcome. This space is for you. If you came this morning as a weary traveler through the Christmas season, trying and failing to call forth merriment, welcome. This space is for you. If you're here to look for hope, to pray for joy, to weep, or to stay silent, to slough off the cynicism holding you, or just trying to make it through until the next year, welcome. This space is for you. And I'll add my words to say that if you came here and are wondering now if suddenly you're in the wrong place because you're having a great day and you are full of joy, welcome. This space is for you also. You can hold the joy, and someone else will hold the sorrow. And together, we hold what it means to be human. May you be embraced in the warmth of darkness and the promise of morning. We light our chalice today with words from Erica Hewitt, and Necole will light our chalice here. If you're joining us at home, I invite you to light a chalice or a candle. Come into this place of peace and let its silence heal your spirit. Come into this place of memory and let its history warm your soul. Come into this place of prophecy and power and let its vision change you. Let yourself be a part of our collective vision.
I'm going to start this one with a chorus too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. No, I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. It's a long and dusty road, it's a hard and heavy load, and the folks I meet ain't always kind. Some are bad and some are good, and some have done the best they could, and some have tried to ease my troubling mind. But I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Had a buddy back home, but he started out to roam, and I hear he's out by Frisco Bay. Sometimes when I've had a few, his voice comes singing through, and I'm going out to see him some old day. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. If you see me passing by and you sit and wonder why, and you wish that you were a rambler too, nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, lace them up and bar the door, and thank your stars for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I've been all around this land, just doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see look as worried as can be, and it looks like they are wondering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. No, I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
At the heart of this service, we light 4 candles, each for a different part of the human experience, different kinds of grief. And so we begin by lighting a candle for our beloveds who have died. We begin by lighting a candle for those we have loved and lost. Often, even when we've adjusted to the loss of someone close to us, this period, this season, the holidays, are a rude and painful reminder that not everyone can gather. The loss of friends and family members is more keenly felt at this time of year for many. We remember their names, their voices, the movement of their hands, the scent of their hair. We sit with the sorrow of memory. We remember them, recognizing that each of us brings different ways of grieving. And as I light this candle, I invite you to name out loud or in the chat or silently in your heart the names of those who you are remembering now.
I'm going to share a poem that I wrote called Remembered Well. Grief is the heaviest coat I've ever worn, damp from tears that could have flooded streets, floods that have washed away a life thought to be permanent truth. The only truth is that nothing is permanent. Grief is the feeling of life lived in slow motion. It's all of the goodbyes and fare thee wells, the goodnight kisses remembered well, laughter still echoing to the furthest corners memories can reach, memories that are equal parts beautiful and tragic. Grief is the unwavering determination to simply keep on living, white-knuckling every fleeting moment because no one warned you it could be the last. The beautiful yet heartbreaking consequence of love so pure and strong is the overwhelming ache and hurt you feel when they are gone. Grief is the remnants of their love and legacy as time passes on. They live in our grief, but in our joy, they also live on. Grief is a songbird's song. It is a broken hymn solemnly sung to the deaths of futures dreamed, forever readjusting. Grief is faded, muted, and muddled, still present in the big and little moments that make us think of them. Grief is an honorarium to those we have lost. We pay tribute with our pain. Grief is profound and impactful as the presence they left behind. Grief is the growing pains felt from life moving forward. It doesn't take away the pain, but it does give it purpose.
We light a candle to honor the pain of losing a relationship, a job, our health, or that of a family member. We sit with the sorrow of instability. We pause to gather up the pain of the past and offer it to the holy presence that is larger than ourselves. As I light this candle, I invite you to name your loss in a word or two, aloud or in the silence of your heart. A Prayer for Midlife Grieving by Joyce Rupp. Compassionate One, I sit with empty hands, wondering about the losses of my life. I sit with empty hands, pondering the pain of many goodbyes. I sit with empty hands, searching for decisions about difficult choices. I sit with empty hands, facing the limitations of my aging. I sit with empty hands, looking for my life among the broken pieces. I sit with empty hands, sifting through dreams that have disintegrated. I sit with empty hands, feeling the ache and sorrow of all my losses. I sit with empty hands, yearning for the unfolding of my true identity. Compassionate One, I sit with empty hands, trusting that your presence embraces my pain, shelters my vulnerability, and gives meaning to my countless dyings.
We light a candle to honor the pain of losing direction. The path we thought we were on has shifted or changed, shaking the ground beneath us. We sit with the sorrow of change. We pause to remember our own limitations and growing edges, and to reflect on the fragility of our souls. Through our limitations, we discover our capabilities. Through our grief or challenges, we are often surprised by the depth of our own wisdom and by the breadth of our own compassion. And it is through the chaos in our lives that we come to appreciate and seek out order. In the meantime, it is messy. I invite you to name your own messiness, limitation, or brokenness in a word or two, aloud, or in the silence of your heart. When Life is Messy by Reverend Richard Gilbert. It is easy to pray when the sun shines and we are grateful for another glorious day of being. It is hard to pray when wind and rain and thunder plague our every step and spoil our every plan. It is easy to be virtuous when life goes well and our existence is a journey from bliss to beauty and back. It is hard to be virtuous when life assaults us and our very being is a pilgrimage from bad to worse to worst. It is easy to be cheerful when health bursts in us so that we can feel the very pulse of life. It is hard to be happy when pain and fatigue beset us and we wonder if we can go on. It is easy to do good when our goodness is rewarded and we feel the power of pride in accomplishment. It is hard to do good when we suffer for our efforts and are troubled because we have been misunderstood. It is easy to feel religious impulses well up inside us when inspiration lives at our elbow and walks on our path. It is hard to feel religious when we are tired with work to be done and discouragement seems to mark our every mood. O God of order and neatness, we give thanks for all that is good. We are grateful for manifold blessings bestowed upon us. O God of chaos and disorder, be with us also when life is messy. Bless our coming in and our going out from this day forth.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home. Sometimes I feel like I have no friend. Sometimes I feel like I have no friend. Sometimes I feel like I have no friend. A long way from home. A long way from home. Sometimes I feel like I've never been born. Sometimes I feel like I've never been born. Sometimes I feel like I've never been born. A long way from home. A long way from home. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. A long way from home. A long way from home. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home.
We light our fourth candle as a signal of hope. Although we may not always feel the joy, we might not always share in the merriment that this season invites, we know that it holds a deeper message too. Christmas holds the lesson for us that what is sacred is embodied here on earth. Hanukkah calls us to a resilience that lasts longer than anyone expects, longer than we're told it should. Solstice invites us into the embrace of darkness and a surrender to the return of light. Here we find that the holy lives in humble places. In the most unlikely places, hope and joy arrive. And even when we cannot muster the will for being merry, we know that there is a deep well of joy within us. That joy was not given to us by this world, and this world cannot take it away. We light this fourth candle to remember those who have supported and helped us in the past, those who have been friends, those who have shown love, those who have helped us in this web of mutuality. And we pause with thanks to remember those who were strong when we were not, and those whose loving care sustained us. As I light this candle, I invite you to name out loud a hope in a word or two, or a person who has offered you loving care, out loud, in the chat, or in the silence of your heart.
I am sending you light to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
I invite you to sing with Jenna.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Call to mind someone you'd like to embrace in the love of this community as we sing again.
I am whole, sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
I invite you to turn to someone near you and sing to them.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Amen.
Every Sunday, we gather as a community and have the opportunity to care and be cared for. We affirm the milestones of life and the moments of growth we have experienced or are experiencing. We turn our attention to that for which we are thankful, to the places where we are witnessing growth in our lives, and to those losses which we are grieving. And so we come to our ritual of community care. We invite you to light a candle to witness to the grief, growth, and gratitude you now hold in your heart, so that these and all that is in our lives may be held in the loving embrace of community. We invite you forward.
May every name, every lesson, every heartbreak, every grief, every growth, every gratitude, held in the flames that we have kindled, be held in the loving embrace of this community. May we all be held in a love that will not let us go. Amen. Blessed be, and Ashe. When Necole, just a moment ago, started to invite you to come forward to lay down a burden or a spark of joy at our altar of community, I saw people going for their wallets. So now is the moment you have been waiting for. And I invite you to give joyfully, just as you wanted to. Every week, members and friends generously contribute to our offering, and we sustain and grow our community and the work and witness of love and justice in the wider community through this collection. But at this time of year, we get really specific about how we plan to do that. We take up a collection during this service and at winter solstice and on Christmas Eve for our Grace Fund. This is a /donate, or by Venmo at Rochester Unitarian, or in the baskets that our ushers will bring forward. In the spirit of abundance and generosity, the offering will now be given and humbly received.
Life is short, but the days and nights are long. And time will heal all these wounds someday soon. I'll be rising, I'll be strong. But now I'm losing all my battles. Now I'm down and dropping still, and this snow's blowing through like some ghost with this blue I know too well. Broken hearts keep on beating just the same. So I guess I can too go through these moves, facing forward, walking straight. But now my feet keep drifting downward. Now my feet can't find their way. And this cold seeping in through my bones, whispering it's here to stay. So I'll bide my time, like there's any other way. Moves too slow, moves too fast, it's gone and passed. It stopped entirely today. I know there's light on some horizon, but I can't see so far ahead. patience and grace. Blessed is love. I'm losing my faith in most of that stuff those wise men said. Most of that stuff those wise men said. Life is short, but the days and nights are long.
Well, Tim, I'm going to invite you up once more, and I'm going to invite you all up. And that could be in body, but if not in body, then in spirit. And if not in spirit, one of those joy people has got you today. That's what it means to be in community. So we'll rise in body or spirit or in community, and we'll do our best to learn about love from Tim.
I'm going to start this one with a chorus a couple of times, too. It's not too hard to pick up, so sing along. Give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. And like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. And give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Whatever softness you have found here, whatever honoring of your losses, whatever remembering of caring, whatever giving over to love, you are invited to. May you continue this journey. As a reminder, our coffee volunteers have said today's the day we'd like to have coffee after that second service. If people want to connect, if that's what love calls them to do, we'll make it possible today. So I invite you to do that. May the power of your heart's wisdom startle you. We extinguish our chalice with the words of Reverend Wayne Arneson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard and the path is never clear. The stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Go in peace. Go in love. I love you. Amen.
I'm so glad people liked it. I'm so glad you liked it. I'm so glad people sang along too. That was wonderful. John. Glad you liked it. That's fantastic. So glad it touched people. Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you. Oh, thank you, sir. That is great. It's all written by a motherless, childless tradition. Across the